Hello, gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Tasos Kilimos. Happy joining you guys for another edition of NBA Player Prop Parlay right here on the Guy Boston Sports YouTube channel. Happy Monday, everybody. We got a new week, a new day, which of course means a new NBA Player Prop Parlay to get to. I got a three-leg parlay to share with you guys that I am very excited about tonight. But first, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We are on the road to 100,000 subscribers, and when you hit that subscribe button down below, we'll get there a little bit sooner. Quick little recap of last week. It was a short week for us. We only had 2 videos last week. We didn't hit on either of the parlays, but we were on the money when it comes to the props. I handed out 9 player props last week. We cashed on 7 out of 9 player props. On the year as a whole, I've handed out 209 player props. We've cashed on 156 of them. That's a 74.6% hit rate. We are up over 15 units since January 22nd, so the last month or so. So overall, we are profitable here on the show. I know the parlays don't always hit, but that is, of course, the parlay game. But we have been very much on the money with our player props this season. Again, got a 3-leg parlay to share with you guys tonight. I'm very confident. I woke up this morning, and I cooked with some absolute fire. So, really excited. Let's dive right in, guys. First leg of our 3-leg parlay, we are targeting the Raptors-Pacers game, which kicks off at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We are targeting RJ Barrett of the Toronto Raptors over 24.5 points plus rebounds. Going to go ahead and kick this over to the Outlier screen, guys. If you know what Outlier is, they are the best sports betting tool on the market. Link in the description below, 7-day free trial to try it out for yourself. All the data, all the information that you're going to see in today's video will be available to you when you use that special link down below. So, looking at RJ Barrett, 7 of his last 10 games, he has cashed this over of 24.5 points plus rebounds. You stretch that data out to his last 20 games, 65% hit rate, 13 of his last 20 games. On the 2023 season as a whole, 52% hit rate, 24 out of 46 games, not too shabby. And remember, this earlier part of the year, we see a lot of this red. That's when he's with the New York Knicks. That's going to Toronto. A lot more green for RJ Barrett. So he's been a lot better since joining the Raptors. And we got a really solid matchup here tonight for him, too. He's faced off with Indiana 1 time since joining the Raptors and back on February 14th on Valentine's Day, right before the All-Star break, and he absolutely cashed this line. He had 23 points and 9 rebounds versus the Pacers. According to StatMuse, he's faced off with the Indiana Pacers 13 times in his NBA career. He's averaging just shy of 22 points and 6 rebounds a game in his career versus the Pacers. Although, of course, a lot of those matches were with the Knicks, he has cashed this line in 4 of his last 5 games versus Indiana. So, solid head-to-head matchup. Look at the right side of the screen here. Defensively, the Pacers, they are bottom 2 in the NBA in points allowed, and they're actually not a terrible rebounding team, but versus the small forward position, which is where RJ Barrett plays on this Raptors team, you'll see bottom 3 in points allowed and bottom 5 in rebounds allowed. So a really solid defensive matchup. Again, he's got a great career versus Indiana. He's been hitting it pretty consistently these last 20 games or so. I love this spot for the first leg of our 3-leg parlay. All right, guys, second leg of our 3-leg parlay. We are targeting the Brooklyn Nets Memphis Grizzlies game. It kicks off at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going with Vinny Williams of the Memphis Grizzlies over 17.5 points plus assists. Now, if you watch my videos, you know there are 2 players this year that I have bet the most and I've been most successful with. That's John Collins of the Utah Jazz and Vinny Williams of the Memphis Grizzlies. I have consistently bet those 2. I have not lost a prop picking either of those 2 players yet this season. They have cashed every single time I have taken their prop in a parlay. This is an alternate line, but minus 145 odds, not too bad. He has covered this in 9 of his last 10 games. His last game versus the Clippers on February 23rd. He just barely missed by like 1 point, but overall, 9 straight games previous to that, he has hit this number. You stretch that down to his last 20 games, very good. 14 of his last 20 games, a 70% hit rate. We're not going to concern ourselves with the season total. He's played 15 out of 45 games. He's cashed this line. First, all these games, though, very different role within the team, right? You look at basically from January 7th to now, it's been mostly green. That's kind of when his role changed. You look down below here, the minutes played, you'll see a massive shift in the chart to minutes played. So with all the injuries the Grizzlies have had this season, Vinny Williams has had to step up, and he will continue to step up for this Memphis team, I think. You'll see here, this is the data showing Vinny Williams this season with Marcus Smart and Desmond Bane both out. They are both obviously out tonight for the Grizzlies. In 13 out of 18 games that he has played this year without Smart and without Bane, he has cashed his over 72% hit rate without those 2 guys playing this season. So those guys are both out tonight. Look at the defensive matchup on the right side of the screen too. Vinny Williams, who runs the point for this Grizzlies team, versus point guards Brooklyn, bottom 7 in points allowed. They give up just about 25 points per game. Although they don't give up a ton of assists, the fact that they're a bottom 7 scoring defense against point guards. I think Vinny Williams should be able to score enough points here where he can almost probably cash this in points alone, and he'll still sprinkle in enough assists to cash the line. So overall, love the spot here. I would honestly, I know it's minus 145. It's not a bad prop just to bet outright. That is the second leg of our 3-leg parlay. All right, guys, third and final leg of our parlay. Comment Monday down below if you made it this far into the video. We're targeting the Miami Heat Sacramento Kings game, which kicks off at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going with Bam Adebayo of the Miami Heat over 14.5 rebounds plus assists. The data is solid on this one. He's covered it in 7 of his last 10 games. You stretch that data to his last 20, pretty good still. 14 out of 20 games, 70% hit rate. On the 2023 season as a whole, a 61% hit rate, 28 out of 46 games. And if you look at the head-to-head data, he's covered this each of the last 2 times he's faced off with the Sacramento Kings, including the one time they played this year back on January 31st. He had 11 rebounds and 4 assists. So solid head-to-head data as well. And you look at the defensive matchup on the right side of the screen versus the center position, the Sacramento Kings. Bottom 10 in rebounds allowed to opposing centers. Bottom 12 in assists allowed to opposing centers. So a solid defensive matchup. But maybe the reason I love this prop the most is because of all of the people that are out, and I think Bam Adebayo's usage rate should be massive tonight. No Thomas Bryant, no Jimmy Butler. Tyler Hero's a game time decision. Jovic is out. Richardson's out. You got a couple more game time decisions, including Terry Rozier. Drew Smith is out. I don't know if that's really that big of a deal. But a lot of guys are out from Miami tonight. Some key pieces, and if Tyler Hero and Rozier, there's a chance they don't play either. There's a pretty good chance that Bam Adebayo is going to get a lot of minutes, a lot of touches. He's going to be all over the court tonight. If you look at this chart right here, this is the data showing all the games this year that he has played without Jimmy Butler. So he has cashed this over in 13 out of 17 games this season that Jimmy Butler has not played. That's a 76% hit rate, including each of his last seven games without Jimmy Butler. So overall, really solid data here. Again, no Jimmy Butler. He hits us at a much higher line, 76% hit rate. I showed you guys all the data. It looks like a fantastic spot to bet here. And again, minus 113 odds, minus 120 odds, on DraftKings. You can't find this on other sportsbooks as well. Again, if you guys are looking to just bet outright and maybe not take the parlay, this is a really good prop to just bet outright if you're looking for outright bets. I have the parlay, but I'm probably going to bet this outright as well. So, guys, looking at the right side of the screen, there is our 3-leg ticket. A quick little recap of what we got. We got Vinny Williams over 17.5 points plus assists, RJ Barrett over 24.5 points plus rebounds, and Bam Adebayo over 14.5 rebounds plus assists. You parlay all 3 of those legs together, you get a parlay of plus 398 odds. Not too bad for a solid 3-leg parlay that has solid data to each and every prop. Again, I always tell you guys, yes, the purpose of the show is to bet these as a parlay, but do not be afraid to pick and choose. If you guys don't like certain legs or you love certain legs a little extra, bet them outright or take them and put them in your own parlays. I'm here to give you guys props. I'm here to give you guys hopeful winners so you guys can do with the data that I provide you, anything you'd like. If you want to bet my parlays exactly how I give them to you, you want to take certain props and make them your own, whatever you'd like. I'm just happy to give you guys the data and give you guys a little sense of direction if you're looking for help in betting your player props. That's it for me today, guys. Thank you very much, as always, for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. I will be back tomorrow with a new NBA Player Prop Parlay. Until then, I hope we're all winners.